All right, we are up and running. Welcome to the 2025 Borealis Psychedelic Science Summit in Stockholm. My name is Yoshi and I am joined now by Tali Avron.
Yes, hi.
Welcome, Tali.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were talking about it before starting to record. A couple of hectic days. Not a lot of sleep, but a lot of activity.
Many interesting things to do, though. So
yes.
Yeah.
I was talking to a previous guest here. We were looking at the program. It's like, how do you choose? How do you...
You just accept the FOMO.
Yeah.
I guess. You just have to live with it. And that's it.
That's how it is.
Don't resist.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Two very busy days.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your background, how you got into the psychedelic research area.
Wow. Where do I begin? I think that I started experimenting on myself, really.
as many of us do.
And that was like, over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I had a few experiences with different mind-altering substances. But it wasn't really until, I think it was 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I had my first really challenging acid experience, which is referred to in the public as a bad trip. It was really harsh. And that actually made me super curious, you know? I was really interested with what was happening there, because obviously something happened there that was very unknown to me. And, you know, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. So after those terrible 19 hours of a nightmare ended, I realized that, okay, what's happening here?
Yeah.
And my life path has kind of led me into the field of clinical research. That was not the plan initially, but so it happened. Mm-hmm. And I was working in the field for a few years, in big pharma companies, really. And a few years ago, I just made that decision to only start working on, molecules and therapies that I personally believe in. And it kind of coincided with my already psychonaut way, that I have pursued ever since. I was working in medical cannabis for a couple of years, and then the pandemic happened. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of time to think. And I got the amazing opportunity to work for MAPS Europe, overseeing the MDMA-assisted therapy for PTSD program all over Europe. And that was really cool. And I've known of MAPS since that awful acid trip, actually. So because I kind of started learning. When you started
looking into it.
Yeah, I started exploring more. I wanted to study more about that, and this is how I got to learn about MAPS and other initiatives in the field, which has obviously, expanded and multiplied over the years. Yeah. So this is really what I'm doing. I'm a clinical trial manager, and I'm focusing on psychedelics. And clinical trial manager. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm focusing on psychedelics, and I'm also involved in a few really cool initiatives around psychedelics and women's health, which is really why I'm here for.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So because of your experience as a clinical researcher, is that why you got the opportunity at MAPS?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So what kind of research are you doing currently?
So one of the projects that I'm involved with is actually, it's not a clinical trial, it's an observational study. So we are assessing people's experiences with psychedelic mushrooms in naturalistic settings. So really looking at ceremonial circles, assessing their experiences, mainly looking at adverse events related to psilocybin mushrooms. Mm-hmm. This is an initiative that has started in Israel after the October 7th attack. So basically trying to gain, more awareness for more treatments for PTSD. And hopefully, we'll get more approvals and more clinical trials with whole plants and more natural compounds.
Right.
Yeah, so that's one thing. And I'm involved in a couple of other initiatives like the Psychedelic Women Network, which is a really cool network of, well, women in the psychedelic field. Under that, we have a few projects. One of them that I'm super proud of is a mentorship program that we just started. Calling out for women who want mentorship or who can offer mentorship. So connecting them around that. Last week, we also put on air the knowledge base, focusing on women and psychedelics as well. So a lot of scientific papers, podcasts, YouTubes, every sort of material that has impact and is important and has value in the field of women and psychedelics as well. It's up there as well. Can we add the links?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. So we'll also add some links
just send
maybe
them
for
to
people.
me and I will include it. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, that, and there are a couple of other things that I am working on at the moment, which I hope will be available soon to the public.
That's awesome. A lot of interesting stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you something, and you decide if you want to share that or not. But how come after having that bad trip, you went down this path of wanting to learn more and work with this, and not like, okay, I'm not touching this again? That's
a really good question. And I think that for many people, it's a very binary thing. It's either this or that. I think that many people, when they're describing their first psychedelic experiences, it's always with the sense of like, oh, this magnificent thing has happened and this beautiful, experience and I want to do it again, etc. To me, it was the exact opposite. But because of that, like I realized the potential that lies there. And I'm a very inquisitive creature, very curious about things. I like to learn. I like to study and research stuff. So yeah, it just sent me into this path. Like I realized that this is big. This is something else. Yeah. And later, as I learned more, I learned about the potential. I learned about, the safety issues, like recent years, like ethics comes into play as well. It's like, it's never ending. The more you zoom in, you learn how much you don't know. Yeah. So I think it's a really cool, topic.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Why is there a need for a psychedelic women's group in psychedelics?
The question is why there is not more of these days. Of
course, that's why I'm asking this question.
Women's needs are unique, and it's not just about the biological aspects. Which, by the way, I don't know if you got to see it, but Elaine's presentation was really cool. She just explained it very well now.
I was here recording, unfortunately.
I highly suggest you watch that. Our bodies work differently, in terms of hormones, our different life stages and what they entail. Women tend to experience more depression, anxiety, PTSD than men. There is a different prevalence of mental conditions with like over half of the population, and yet some people would still treat that as a niche topic. Well, no, it's not a niche topic. It's a huge topic. So yeah, it's not just the biological concept that is unique. It's also the social aspect of things, cultural as well. So yeah, we need more focus into research in that, and women's needs have been criminally neglected,
especially in research.
And then even more specifically within psychedelic research. We just don't have enough data. Which kind of leads to this magic circle. Well, there is not enough data, and then people ask, like, why do we need to research that more? Well, we don't have enough data. But so yeah, this is what
the craziest is like, oh, well, with the hormones up and down, it's hard to do research on women, but I'm sure the medicine will work for them as well. Like, what? Wait, hold on.
Oh, well, this is exactly why.
How do those two things go together? Like, it's either one or the other. We need to figure this stuff out.
I think that a lot of people are scared of the concept because of that. Yeah. It's really hard to, separate different elements that impact the experience. Yeah. But this is exactly what we need to research more, because there is such a huge impact. Yeah. And if we do want to design, therapies that are safe and effective, then we have to take that into consideration.
Of course.
And my personal take on that is, people cannot really, you speak of inclusion and inclusivity and, the treatments for all and whatever without actually including the entire population.
Proper studies on half the population.
And people's specific needs. Yeah. You gotta walk the walk.
Yeah, no, I agree completely.
we're not only trying to raise awareness, but we're also initiating a couple of projects related to that. There are a couple of really cool organizations that are actually doing a lot of amazing work in that field, like Psychedelic is one of them. And the Psychedelic Women Network, which we are trying to gather more data around that. There are other initiatives as well overseas, like in the United States as well. So, yeah, like a movement is happening, you know.
That's good.
The wave is there. We just need more awareness, more focus. And this is why I'm really happy about that specific conference with the gender track is very unique. I don't see many of that. So
yeah, there's a gender track here at Borealis.
Yeah, which is really cool. So.
And you mentioned you're going to be part of one panel discussion on this topic and also have a presentation.
Yeah.
And what is the topic of the presentation?
Well, it's a very boring name. Women's experiences in psychedelics.
Oh, that's not boring.
Where I'm basically trying to kind of touch base on the different topics that we are also touching base on right now, pinpointing biological differences, societal differences, a call for action, what we can do better, what we're trying to do right now, and really the most important topic, which I think is, like you said, why does it matter and why now? Yeah. And again, my take is that these days, psychedelic assisted therapies are going to be legal and available for people, you know, at one point or the other. We are already on the race for FDA approvals for some therapies. And we must take into consideration, again, half of the population's needs. If we do want to make these treatments safe, effective, ethical, and really efficient, you know, we have to take this into consideration. So in order to do that, we need more research.
True. Well, it seems like you're part of creating the wave that's happening. So I'm happy to hear that.
I think all of us are really, you know, it's about increasing awareness. It's about education. Yeah. It's about talking about it. It's about thinking about, you know, these things, you know, I get a lot of, I'm conducting these conversations and it happens a lot that people come over and be like, oh, I didn't really think about it. Oh, really? Is that a difference? You know, so yes, there is.
Yes, definitely. What's something you're excited about in the psychedelic field in general today or moving forward?
I think that one of the things that we are seeing these days, which I couldn't be more thankful for, is the need for more ethical guidelines. You know, it's not like people know that it's not a silver bullet. We cannot just eradicate mental health problems. You know, it's not going to be over with just one psychedelic session. It's about integration. It's about community, you know, containment. There are so many organizations that are doing really cool work around, you know, participants' advocacy, for example, like Saipan, and, you know, just creating a really safer environment for everyone afterwards and during. Like, people understand the harms, you know, the potential harms that could happen, and they are being more mindful of that. So to me, I think that this is the most exciting part. You know, it's more about having these treatments available or, you know, scoring an FDA approval for this or that. It's about how we conduct that. How do we approach it? How do people prepare? How do people integrate? What happens afterwards? You know, what happens with relationships, work, you know, whatever. How does your sleep differentiate after that? So to me, I think this is the coolest part about looking at it from a more holistic perspective. It's not just what happens in the sessions, what's happening afterwards. So
I feel like more and more people are talking about that.
Absolutely.
Which is a good sign.
Yeah. And I think that in general, like, the more, you know, people also have their own personal experiences, but I think also the integration of, you know, why we refer to the underground. I don't like this word, but like ceremonial context, you know, even festivals, raves, etc. There is so much happening there that we can learn and embed into, you know, modern days protocols. It doesn't have to be this or that. So yeah, I think these are cool.
Do you have an example of that?
I think in general how should I put it? Institutions are more open, for that type of perspective. So I think when people are looking to research more and to study more naturalistic concepts and what is happening, the concept of harm reduction, for example, it's not such a new thing, but it's not. It hasn't been mentioned that much like 5-10 years ago, Right. So, and all of a sudden everybody's talking about it. Everybody knows what holding space means, stuff like that, which I am really thankful for, It's great because those things don't just happen there. It doesn't just end, in a circle or in a festival or whatever. We keep on carrying it on our day-to-day lives. So,
right.
Yeah. Did I answer your question?
I think so, yeah.
Because I feel like I'm blabbing.
You answered a question.
Okay, some question was answered.
Some question you answered.
I can talk about the study that we're conducting these days about the ceremonial settings, for example. I don't think that like 10 years ago, ethics committees would be so happy to approve such a thing.
Right, yeah.
And these days...
That's a great example.
Yeah, let's study that, let's hand out questionnaires to people. Let's see how they describe their own experiences. Let's see what they come out of, these environments. And I think that a few years ago, people would always raise an eyebrow, like, oh, those hippies and their drugs. And these days, I think people definitely understand the therapeutical potential, but also, what it means and how can we embed that into science as well. Yeah.
That's good. Cool. Yeah. Exciting to see.
Yeah.
Where can people find and follow your work?
I don't have social media.
Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, talking about mental health.
Healthy, yes.
I'm on LinkedIn. Tali Avron, it's my name. And people can also reach out to me via email. Catch me around here, I guess. Yeah.
Cool. And you'll send me some links and we'll include those in the description wherever people find out.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah,
thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you for sitting down and talking to me.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, Yoshi. That was really cool.
My pleasure.
Yeah, awesome.
And thanks for everyone who's tuning in. My name is Yoshi from the Borealis Psychedelic Science Summit in Stockholm.
Yeah.
Catch you next time.
Thanks.